the start of season 2 of Afterparty has dropped on Apple TV.
It's dropped. Got the first 2 episodes. First one is Unique rom-com, the sequel.
So funny.
Dude, so good. The shit that keeps happening to him was so goddamn funny.
Oh man, and it just kept happening and happening. There's a little bit of like Fockers, but like but in a different spin on it.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, it was
one thing I realized with this, just because I know how this goes, and we didn't get a lot of crossover with episode 2 because it was more of like a episode 2 took place more before.
And episode 2 was like a Sense and Sensibility, like Jane Austen
Pride and Prejudice.
Thing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen episode 2 yet. I've only seen the first one, so no spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I like the way they are going back to the well with each episode being a different style, because that was one of the things that was so cool about season 1.
Yeah, definitely.
But one thing I can't wait to get into is like knowing how the stories also change. Like with each person's telling.
Yeah.
Some of the shit that like what were the things that bad that Unique did, like or was he just, like overblowing it, or and then like the shit that like the Sebastian does, where he's just like completely cool, like was it really that easy for him to fucking pick up the Val box or whatever?
Oh my god, the Val box was so fucking funny with him trying to get that thing up.
That was so brilliant too. I've never seen the Val box thing.
Yeah, neither have I.
Right now, for me, the star of the show.
Yeah.
I think you guys. Well, first, who's like
the star?
Episode 1, you were like, oh my god, they popped.
I'm gonna guess for you, Zach Woods is the star.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So fucking funny, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Straight up.
I mean, he's autistic, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing to say, but like that.
I feel like everyone in the show is autistic.
Yeah. Dude, but he's got some vibes of what you love about him in Silicon Valley, but he takes it a different direction.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I love his little lizard. What's the lizard's name?
Roxanne.
Roxanne. Oh
God, it's I had high expectations, but at the same time was like, man, because like with like True Detective, like for me personally, season 2 was like, I get how some people are with it, but like season 1 to season 2 is like major difference. I've been so happy with the first 2 episodes of this one.
It's new characters, but it's not all new characters, you know.
Yeah.
There's 3 people that cross over, so
but they set it up so well. And then James, you'll see in episode 2, like just like where they go with it. You're like, episode 1, you're like, okay, it sets the table. Episode 2, you're almost like it expands how much more could have happened, which is why like we're gonna do like what we did last year, where we all pick who we think the killer is. But which is why I have less of a clue after episode 2 than I felt like I did episode 1.
A couple of things I just want to say, like Elizabeth Perkins, I think that's her name. The mom,
Isabel. Yes.
She was in Weeds. Like she was so fucking funny in that show, and like I'm just glad to. It's like it's always cool when you like. I mean, she's probably been working this whole time, but whenever you see somebody like that, like work like in a show you actually watch, you're like, fuck, I missed that person.
Pops into something you like.
Yeah. Well, even John Cho.
That was so awesome seeing him pop up.
Yeah, like really since Harold and Kumar, he hasn't. I mean, again, I'm sure he's probably in some fucking success.
I think he had a TV show.
Yeah. He had a TV show.
I feel like he had like one of those like Rizzoli and Isle or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Yeah, he's done some stuff.
Rizzoli and Isle.
I don't. What is the thing?
I like how you say that derogatory too. They're one of those Rizzoli and Isles.
Because they're all the same. The fucking TNT knows drama shows.
Hold on. They're not all the same because Franklin and Bash is elite.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
Kumail was in that show.
Dude, Franklin and Bash was incredible. I'm curious. The one I'm actually the most excited to see in a weird sort of way, Anna Konkle, who plays Hannah.
Yes.
She's the sister.
Yes, from Pen 15.
From Pen 15.
Yeah, that was the other one I was going to say.
Yeah, so her, I'm very excited to see because I feel like that is going to be like season 1 with Zoe's husband. I feel like this one is going to be like the insane one that we're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
So we want to do like 1, 2, 3 or what? So this is for, are we saying right now, after episode 1 and 2, like, James is.
James episode 1.
Yeah.
I'm at a disadvantage, I feel like.
I don't think you are.
That's fine.
Think it's better to know less. All right. Should we do it on 3?
Yeah.
Are we doing their name or their character name?
Either one.
Say whatever. We'll figure it out.
We'll just go into like why we think everybody. So.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Sebastian.
Ulysses.
Who did you say, Drew?
Hannah.
Oh, okay.
I like that we all picked different people. That's awesome.
Me too. Yeah. I was kind of worried that we'd be some overlap.
I was too. So
you think Ulysses, John Cho is gonna do it?
Yeah. Drew, why don't you go first?
Maybe that's based off episode 2.
I'm kind of interested in what that's based off of. But okay, so Hannah is, and this is why I said, and you'll hear why I think more on in episode 2. But in episode 2, well, actually, let's start with 1. So they're sitting at the table, and she says, "Oh, you like the centerpieces? Hannah did these." She's like, she does a lot of flowers. She's like, "Oh yeah, many of them are psychoactive."
Oh,
so she knows plants, and she could maybe poison with those plants.
Oh,
and in episode 2, Andy will know this. James, I might skew your viewing of episode 2 now, but I think Hannah and Grace have a secret lesbian relationship because she was always there for Grace when Edgar was out of town. She keeps bringing it up. Oh, like, but at least Hannah was there, like all this stuff. And like the reason she doesn't want to get married, like why like Zoe thinks is because it's not that she doesn't want to get married. She doesn't want to get married to like this is like she's marrying Edgar so they can continue on this relationship that they have.
Okay.
So that's my theory. And so, but there was just one little thing that bugs me about this, and maybe the explanation will come out. But because the mom says, "Oh, what's that?" And they're like, "Oh, that's Adderall."
Yeah.
And so she takes one. But maybe this will get explained. I don't think it was actual Adderall. I think it was, and because it didn't, like, Adderall is supposed to stimulate you, right? Where Edgar, and again, James, this is all like stuff you don't know, but like he gets real fucked up when the powder is in the drink, right? So she came up with some other concoction. Because even that, they said it's like it makes you psychoactive, and he's going, "There are demons here. You guys are all demons and all this shit." Like, so I think she did something, and whatever else is going on, like maybe it was because of like this whole like system he's on, like that really fucked up his system, and that's why he died. Okay. So, and at the end of episode 2, when those two are going through his shit, they're like, "Oh, here's a prescription for Adderall." So if there's still a prescription, that means what she had, the prescription was not filled yet.
Oh,
dude, that's valid.
Yeah,
that's a valid reason for thinking it would be her,
Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah.
So that's where I'm at right now.
All right, you want me to go or you want to go, James?
Well, I mean, I can go because I won't be.
All right, go for it.
Since I've only seen the first episode, the reason I choose Sebastian, I feel like right now, is because, like, if you look at the first one, you had the Jean Ralphio. I can't remember his character's name in the first
I
episode
know, yeah,
or whatever. But
we know
the Jean Ralphio from Parks and Rec. He was the
What's his name?
spoiler alert.
Ben.
He was the killer.
He was the quilter.
But
Quilter.
the thing is I kind of suspected him right up front in the first season, and then I second guessed myself because I was like, no, he's too close to it. It's too obvious, or maybe it's not too obvious. I don't know, but whatever it was, it just seemed like he was too close to it. Like there's no way it's him. So that's kind of where I'm going with the whole Sebastian thing. And plus, like, and I don't know if anything changes in the second episode, which that's why I feel like I have a disadvantage. But there was the part when
no, actually, so there's another loose end in there that I know means something, but I just got to figure out how it would tie back to Hannah. But go on, and I'll tell you why your thing could be valid.
Well, because Sebastian, when he's in the room tying when Anik is in the room tying Edgar's bow tie, Edgar is kind of like showering Anik with a lot of like love and Sebastian is getting kind of annoyed by it, and you could tell like he was being kind of a fucking dick.
Yep.
In that moment, so and then even beyond that, just being so like flashy and flamboyant, almost maybe even if he didn't kill, maybe he knows who did and was in on it. Maybe it's two people this time. You know what I mean?
I think this one
I thought about that
like,
too.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple potential obvious choices, right, to people, and it would be potentially him just because he's so close to him and and maybe he could have worked something out in the will. And
he's the business partner as well.
Exactly. So he probably knows more about him than literally anyone. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense to me from that one. And then I think the other obvious one is the dude that's Grace's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
And both of those feel too obvious, but at the same time, like I could totally see it being, you know, his best friend who knows him the best, because then he could figure out how he could get a stake in the company or whatever he's doing. Like he would just have the most information on him versus everybody. So I like that one. I went wild card. Is that all you got, James, or you want me to?
Well, I want to help validate him because he hasn't seen the episode, but. So at that point he said, "Oh, how do you like that?" He's like, "Oh, those couplings are nice." He says, like, "Oh, those are his crypto lockers or whatever the fuck they're called, right?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At the end of episode 2, when they're searching, she says, "What are these couplings? He's already wearing couplings, and why is there only one?"
Yeah.
So one is missing. So somebody who knows that the crypto is on there has taken that.
Right.
And he was wearing a suit, which means he could have had cufflinks.
And it's just because like I know like the way they always do this, like in all these shows, and maybe this is the one that breaks it, but like I feel like he's too much of the red hair, like he's the red herring, you know what I mean? Like it's like too obvious for him right now.
Yeah.
But it would be switching it up from the first season a bit.
Yeah. Well, and it would be the swerve because it's like it's the thing you expect, right?
Right.
Yeah, right.
So there are definitely clues that still, and like I mean, he's even more of the asshole in season or episode 2 too. So there's a lot of things. So but that one was like that one thing. It's like, well, I don't remember Hannah ever talking about that. So like maybe I don't know. So but like why is the crypto missing? You know what I mean? But then also with Travis, when they're at the table in episode 1, he's like, "What do you know about crypto?"
Oh yeah, the Travis guy does know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably and he's at the house and nobody knows why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So there's a lot, but I love that we all pick. And yeah, I want to hear this fucking Uncle Ulysses.
Konkle. Yeah. I like the idea of swerving us with like this erratic dude that's the Funkle, that's the fun one, all that kind of stuff. But maybe your boy who's a little self-absorbed with himself because he's the king of, of the ice, if you will. Maybe he's got a reason why he's not actually into the Funkle. And the Funkle's kind of seems to be like a world traveler, all kind of all over the place, all that kind of thing. And I think they fool you up front by saying, like, okay, well, if he would have poisoned him, it would have been the camel's milk that he drank out of the horn that Anik drank and then spit up all over his hopefully at some point future mother-in-law. And all of that. But Edgar didn't drink it, right?
Yeah.
Also, Lizard didn't have it or whatever.
But the
Grace
did, though. So
Grace did, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's one of two directions there. Like, my thinking at first was, hey, Edgar went away for a while and went to go get the Funkle as the gift for Grace.
Mm-hmm.
So while Edgar was away, the Funkle could have given some sort of thing that's a time release kind of thing that takes time to like kill you, right?
Yeah.
Because he was essentially alone with him for a while, possibly. Because I'm curious what happened while Edgar was away going to find the Funkle. You know what I'm saying? So
I
from
thought
that
Sebastian
aspect,
was the one who brought the Funkle in.
No, he just made the announcement because
Edgar's the one that actually went to get him because he was away for a little while.
Yeah.
That might have been in episode 2. I don't know.
Okay.
So my thinking is that he's the wild card. He's kind of the fun one. Also, I'm thinking, from a show perspective, it would be a great spin if one of your biggest name characters is the one that actually commits the murder.
Oh yeah.
So that's where kind of the two-way spin that I'm taking on it. I think there's a lot more to unwrap from Ulysses that we just don't know yet. And maybe with other people, there doesn't seem like there's as much to unwrap. But for him, I feel like there's so many layers of things that could have happened, all that. Also, I don't know, was he the one that was naked that was running by?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and he was seen arguing, I think, with Zoe's dad at one point.
Right.
And all this. So there's a bunch of different things there that's just like
maybe. But he also made like a really weird speech in the first episode where it just seemed a little bit like you guys are always in my heart or whatever. Like just like the way he was
so he could have been in a way like
it was weird.
Goodbye a bit,
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, that's where my take on it is mostly that it comes from, I think something could have happened while Edgar was going to get him, and we don't know what the relationship ended up being. Maybe he got him and the Funkle found out what kind of rich this dude was and was like, figured out a way to get back into the family so he could get some of that money, especially if Grace views him as the Funkle and somebody that like she absolutely loves, then that's somebody that she would potentially like, hook up. Just throwing some spins out.
What if Grace actually just did it?
That's a possibility. Like the one that's like the most on the head.
Yeah.
And that's where and I kind of wonder if mine is a twofer with Grace and Hannah,
Yeah. What happens?
Well, yours makes sense because they spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
What happens if we get half right? Is that a thing?
How would we get half right?
We get half.
Like if there's two people, that are the killers.
Oh, well then you win.
Yeah,
well, unless two of us get it, then those two people get a steel card. Because this is a steel card, by the way.
Like if it's Hannah and Uncle Ulysses, then me and Andy would both kill one.
Yeah, gotcha. Exactly.
Okay. All right.
What if it's all three?
Like
but yeah, so this is our weekly. We'll do a weekly like where we're at, with the show and just kind of review it a bit. But like it is off to a banger of a start, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, everybody watch the show. Catch up.
Catch up.